Hey, and welcome back to Bourbon Blind, where the guys usually drink what y'all pick. Due to the state of the nation and the way things are right now, we're doing things a little bit different, and we want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to us and has sent us a sample. They will be on the show shortly, and we'll definitely be giving you some recognition, and we'll be sending you a little 2-ounce sample of something out of our cabinet in return. So thank you very much. I want to say a big shout out to our newest Patreon members, Mike Meyer, Craig Dast, Russell Warshay, and Cliff Still. We appreciate all of the support that we've been getting while we've been dealing with untrying times. In the meantime, we also have been building our bar now forever and ever. But we have a roof. We're hoping that we will get a siding on in the next week or so and get some electrical so that we can have our new filming studio. Super exciting. In the meantime, we're going to be doing some bottles out of our cabinet, and I'm on the show right now, which is a little bit different. Kyle still doesn't know what he's drinking. As usual, he will give you, and I will too, because I don't have a clue of what Kyle buys these days, nor do I know how much he spends, so please don't tell me. But we will tell you what we get tasting notes wise and how much we're willing to pay for the bourbon in our glass. Besides that, welcome to head on over to Bourbon Blind Nation and check us out on Facebook, or come hang out with us on Thursdays where we go live right here. And besides that, if you like what you see tonight, hit the like and subscribe button. If you love us, show us or want to show us some love, head on over to Patreon. You can see all the goodies that are there. Tonight's bottle, I've been looking at this bottle for a while. I have no clue anything about it. Oh man, it's 90 proof. Oh well. It's called Fistful of Bourbon, and it is such a cool looking bottle. I have no clue what it is. Soft spices and hints of nutmeg. Okay, we'll see if Kyle can pick that out. I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one. I just saw it when I flipped over the bottle. But it's a really neat looking bottle. And so we will see what this tastes like.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bourbon Blind. I'm Kyle.
I'm Erin.
You know what's up? We taste whiskey. We give it a price tag we'd be willing to pay for it without that hype of the label. So, studio's been being built. It's going slow, but at the same time, things are happening. So, super excited. Check out on Patreon. I've been putting up pictures and stuff up there. Just of the daily progress and whatnot. So that's
weekly progress. I don't know if daily is the right word for it.
Weekly. I mean, you know, coronavirus and stuff. It's just so yeah. Things are happening. Like I said, it's moving. I'm ready for it to be built. I know Erin does too. Like she wants all the bourbon out of the house, and I want a new studio to be in, and
I want some place where we can literally walk outside, film some episodes. Not have to tear half our kitchen apart. Right. The little things in life, right? Anywho.
So.
Enough of the drama.
Yeah.
No, you guys didn't come to like watch us talk about that. So.
Ooh.
Wow.
It smells good. Tons of caramel vanilla.
Very much so.
Some sweetness, like a powdered sugar. Maybe that's because I just had whipped cream earlier tonight. But
I'm not getting powdered sugar, but definitely sweetness.
Yeah.
Definitely caramel.
A little bit of fruity in there. A little bit of wood.
I smell the wood. Yeah, I guess there is a little bit of fruit. It's kind of all over the place.
It is got a little bit of like earthy, spicy baking spice earthiness to it. So, yeah, it's got a little bit of everything.
Nothing dark. At least I'm not smelling it.
So, anyway, let's get in here. Cheers. Indeed. That is interesting to say the least.
I was about to say that is the most interesting bourbon whiskey I've had in a really long time, and I'm not sure if it's interesting in a good way or bad, but I definitely want to taste it again.
I think it's interesting in a good way. I'm digging that.
I'm perplexed.
It's got a lot going on in there, and it kind of feels like flavors are fighting each other a little bit for dominance.
Yes.
I feel like it's probably like something blended, but could be me.
It tastes young to me. I mean, there's not a lot of color on it to begin with, but...
It does and it doesn't. I mean, at the same time, it has a decent amount of woody flavor to it.
It does have the wood flavor, I'll give it that.
So...
But the finish is gone. Like, there is very little finish in my mouth.
Mine's still going.
I've been known to be wrong.
It's America. You're allowed to be. It's a free country. So, flavor notes.
Wood. All the sweetness is gone, too.
I definitely get a lot of sweet in there.
Really? I'm not getting much sweet.
Not so much on the finish, but in the initial palate, much more sweetness. Almost like an astringent candy, if that makes sense. Like,
I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not... I don't know how to...
I'm confused.
I don't know how to put it into words.
It takes a lot to... Well, it doesn't take very much to confuse me, but for me not to vocalize my confusion, I'm lost.
See what some water does in there, but... I'm trying to put it into words. Like, there's a lot going on, but it's hard to pinpoint what...
I'm getting a lot of...
What those flavors are.
2 drops.
I went all in.
I know, I watched you, but I don't like stuff watered down.
I gotta see what it does.
Whoa.
Like, there's...
That made it really hot.
Yeah?
Have you tasted it with the water?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I'm about to, but I'm trying to get some sort of flavor notes on the palate of... There's a lot going on. There's sweetness, astringency.
A lot of astringent.
A little bit of baking spice on the finish.
Adding the water to it, I'm getting oak, astringent, and ethanol. Like, it is a burning ethanol, which I always say that lower proofs burn more. Adding the water to this just made it burn.
Yeah.
All the way down.
Mine didn't. But for whatever reason, you always say low alcohol burns, so you're just weird like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It is straight burn all the way down.
All right. Well, you're weird, so.
We know this. I always like to say that, you know, everyone's like, oh, well, there's proof on that.
Definitely really creamy with the water. A little bit more ethanol, but not a whole lot else going on.
Adding water to this made it awful.
It just killed everything for me. But
I don't like this.
I'm going back to the original.
I'm really sad right now. I wanted to like this.
In my Scotch Test Dummies class. So if you don't know the Scotch Test Dummies, go check them out.
Nope, I'm done. I'm done with this.
You're out?
I'm out. Ugh. Like, all my hairs on my arms are standing up. My neck's all prickly. I'm sitting there doing that shake thing that you do when you taste something. It's not the worst thing I've put in my mouth. Bourbon wise. I'm gonna preface this.
Say it, that's what she said?
Yeah, we're not gonna go to that game. But it's definitely got a lot of astringent flavors. The nose was really interesting because it had like all these little bits and pieces in it. But when you taste it, I get oak, astringent, maybe a touch of sweetness, not much. It's drying to the mouth, and it burns all the way down.
It does have a little tannin drying effect on the finish, but for me, I don't get all that.
I'm glad somebody didn't.
So there is definitely that woody aspect, some caramel, some almost like a light summer fruit.
Now you're making me want to taste it again because you're starting to talk about caramel and fruit, and I'm like, I didn't get that.
Like a light summer fruit, like a pear. I don't want to quite say an apricot, but...
You know what it is? It's an unripe apple. Not the sour apples.
Like the green tart apples?
No, like... So you know when you bite into a peach and it's not ripe and it has that, like, hint of peach, but it's not... It's kind of bland. It's kind of...
I know what you're talking about, but I don't get that.
It tastes like that with just, like... It's like a hint of apple, but it doesn't taste ripe.
I don't know.
I'm not getting caramel.
It's you. But, yeah, I like it.
So how much are you willing to pay for it?
I would probably be in this... That's a hard question.
What are you in at? I already flashed the camera mine. I don't think you were paying attention.
I'd probably be in this about $60.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope not. Oh, if this bottle's $60, I'm gonna cry. All right, you do the honors. I'm really sad right now. I picked this bottle because the way it looked, and it was pretty, and I'm mad at it. This better be a $20 bottle.
Fistful of Bourbon. So, this is out of Texas, but it's not a Texas whiskey. Let me make sure I was way off. So this is out of New York, and this is...
You could have warned me you were that far off.
I said I was way off.
I was about to say, that's not a Texas bourbon. It doesn't have enough flavor. Is it made with awesome barrel water like the last New York? You know what? New York's not doing so hot with bourbon in my book. Just a total side note. I hope these make them into the video. Kyle does outtakes from time to time, but holy crap, that's crap. You and your New York water. God. Okay.
So, Fistful of Bourbon, it's out of New York, and this is what happens when a Scotch producer gets into the bourbon game.
That makes perfect sense.
So, what they do, it says it's a blend of 5 straight bourbon whiskeys. So, it is all bourbon, but they wanted to get 5 different flavors and blend them together. So, when you have Scotch whiskey, and Irish whiskey, they are, like in America, the master distiller is like the rock star of the distillery, right? Over there, it's the blender. The master blender is the rock star. They're the ones that make everything happen, right? So, what they wanted to do is take 5 distinct flavors and harmonize them, the synergy, okay, and put out something that represented a Scotch drinker's take on bourbon. So it is,
and I would agree with that.
It is all straight bourbon.
It's totally a Scotch drinker's bourbon. So, when I went to pour it, I saw the nutmeg. I absolutely love baking spices. I didn't want to ever say baking spices this episode for that very reason, because I actually said it in the intro. But I said it tasted green, which is the second flavor, green, leafy, and floral. Didn't get the floral, but definitely I said it tasted young, like that greeny taste. I totally agree. It's got sweet and balanced. You called off the baking spices, buttery toffee, and cinnamon licorice, which could be astringent. So, I mean, we kind of touched on everything, but it definitely tastes like a Scotch.
I will say, it's
gross.
Like I said, it tastes like a blend. Like, there's a lot of flavors that are fighting for dominance, and
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like a Scotch, even a nice blended Scotch, is still
harmonized.
It is still harmonized, right? This, I don't get that harmony.
So,
it's very...
So, you know in the beginning of an orchestra where you hear everyone playing at once, and they're all playing really well. I mean, you can hear the harps and the flutes and whatever else, but when you're hearing it, you're like bombarded with that. You're like, what the fuck just happened? That's what's going on in this bottle. But if this is made by Scotch drinkers and a Scotch distillery, that makes a whole lot of sense with the flavor profile, because it was drying and it was not very sweet, and it kind of was like a punch in the face. I flashed the camera. If you didn't catch it, I'm in this $20. How much does this bottle cost?
I think they're right around $35. Okay,
we all know I'm cheap, but that's not bad.
I would say hard cap at 60. But
okay. I love this bottle. I love their labeling.
It's a cool bottle. Yeah, it really is.
It really, but it is a fistful. It's a punch in the face. Fistful of bourbon. Yep. They warned you.
But yeah, it's for the price. It's definitely worth trying to see if you like it. And I don't know. It's very different. It really is. Like I said, it tastes like a blend. Like everything's kind of fighting for flavor. I don't know offhand if they're going to do like different batches of this, and it's kind of going to evolve as it progresses.
That would be cool.
That would be cool, as they kind of like refine different, more of this flavor, less of this, and whatever else. But it is unique.
Definitely.
It is unique.
I would not have. I just grabbed it now that I know that it's made by. I'm honing in on the Scotch drinking business. That makes a whole lot more sense to me. I didn't read much from the bottle. I just saw it, liked it. But I would love to see one of these, either the sweet and balanced, or the green leaf, or the hints of nutmeg, or the buttery taffy, or the cinnamon and licorice. Well, not so much that one, but or the cinnamon and licorice take front.
I will say, like, a lot of the flavors, they are fairly well balanced between each other, but at the same time, there's not a cohesiveness.
It's an orchestra all playing different music at once that are warming up for like the good thing. So right.
Like, I think they're on the right track, and I just would like to see them kind of refine it more.
And it's only aged for 2 years, a minimum of 2 years.
Right.
So it's
all
whiskey.
Straight bourbon whiskey, so it is at least 2 years. There's no flavoring. There's nothing else.
Bourbon.
So right, but I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to see them keep going and see.
I would try it again. It was really interesting. Is the right word for it. Kyle liked it. I didn't, but it's still definitely worth the bottle.
I liked it for its uniqueness.
Yeah,
it's different.
I really like the bottle.
I love my like straight up bourbon profile, but Oh,
I'm all for different profiles, but let's at least make it taste good.
Well, obviously. I want to give a huge shout out to all of our Patreons. Building this new studio is kind of like a dream come true for us, and we would not be able to do it without you guys. Everyone in the chats, usually Thursday night we go live, and people in the chat super chatting. Definitely appreciate that. Seriously, like right now, like everything is going towards that studio. Very few bottles are being bought right now. I usually get, some tips from friends and stuff. Hey, the store's got this, or hey, you want me to pick this up? And I'm like, I would love to, but I can't right now because everything's going towards over there, and construction stuff is never over budget. So
no, we're not talking money these days. Let's just put Kyle's allotment of bourbon money is now a studio money, and
it's in the red. We'll put it that way.
It'll be all right. It'll all be fine. I learned a long time ago. Just put my plugs in my ears and sing la 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 and just go build it.
Which is a good key for, if you're starting to build your bourbon collection. Your wife is like, another bottle of bourbon. A, don't bring it in when she's home. B, once it just starts amassing like so much, then eventually they just, turn a blind eye and kind of accept it.
That's not how this game works. This is acceptance of a long time, but
really don't lie to your wife.
No, please don't lie to your wife. That's bad news. That's how you end up not being able to watch our show or any other bourbon show. And
what Mama don't know won't hurt her.
You're gonna get smacked. Anywho, we appreciate, even if you're not supporting us via financially. We definitely love to see you guys on the chats. We love to see you in Bourbon Blind Nation. We definitely love all of the love that we have been getting from everyone.
And if, especially right now during this time, but, if you can't or don't want to donate, don't.
Please don't.
Do not feel obligated, please, because
YouTube is a free platform, and we are here to make videos.
YouTube is all about, putting out free content, and that's what we started out doing. That's what we will always do.
Until we run out of bottles. But as someone pointed out to me, there's rumors. There's rumors and conjectures on exactly how many bottles Kyle really does have.
It's between 30 and 30,000. It's between that range.
It's a factor of 10.
I'm true. It's very true.
Actually,
between 30 and 30,000.
That's not a factor of 10. That's like factor of like 100,000 something. I don't even know. It's late. I'm sorry. We film these late because we have kids that don't sleep.
See the bags under the ice?
Yeah, these are all outtakes. We are so just rambling on and on. So,
until Friday, noon central, cheers. Drink blind.
Catch us on Thursday. I'll go get them. Claire! I don't like that intro. I'm really sorry, Kyle. That was a rough one. I had no clue what to say. Putting me on the show is not always a good thing, Kyle! There he is.